roll. So, hello again. As I mentioned, my name is Kylie Rigler. I am from Northern Kentucky, Walton, Kentucky, if anybody's ever heard of it before. And I'm joining with my lovely co host, Lovely. I don't know. Do you say that about guys? Well, I'm saying it anyway. My co host this evening, Mr. Terry Camp from Las Vegas, Nevada. And I just want to share with you that the information that we will be talking about tonight truly, no lie, has the power to completely transform your life. It might be physical, might be financial, it might be a little bit of both, but I'm here for it. I hear testimonies every single day from people using and loving the products that you're going to learn about. So just stay with me here. First part of this information, we're going to be quick. We're going to be fast. It's going to be a little bit of a water hose. Okay. You're going to be hit with a lot of really incredible information, but just I challenge you to have an open heart and open mind. I saw this space, this company about 8 or 9 months ago now for the very first time. I had never even heard of it, definitely did not know about these products or that they even existed before I first heard about them. And I was such a fast yes. I've been a part of this industry now for going on, oh my gosh, what day is it? I'm almost at my 12-year anniversary of being in this industry, formerly a hairstylist. It changed my life. That's such an understatement. I was looking for a way to make an extra $500, maybe $1,000 a month so that I wouldn't be so stressed out working every weekend at the hair salon where I worked, my husband working so many extra hours at the warehouse where he drove a forklift. He didn't have a very glamorous job, but he worked really hard for his money. Anybody ever been there before? And so we just needed a way out. And we got introduced to this industry 12 years ago when our babies were babies. They're not babies anymore. And I am so grateful that I had an open mind to hear out a friend of mine and what she was sharing with me. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my special co-host this evening. So Terry Camp and I actually met last summer. He was the first person to share with me an incredible product that I will tell you, I accidentally ran out. I ran out about a week ago, maybe 5 days ago, and it has been a pretty miserable 5 days, Terry. I'm just going to let you know. That was a bad move. I think I messed something up in my subscription. You don't want to do that. So
Nope.
trust me when I say Terry was the first person to share this specific product with me. And I didn't even know what I didn't know, yet I knew I was excited. Okay. I was very, very excited. So, Terry Camp is not only one of the most incredible human beings, he's a pastor out in Las Vegas. He is currently also the number one income earner inside of our company. His story of where he was to where he is today is just absolutely awe-inspiring. And so I'm so excited for you all to meet him this evening, Mr. Terry Camp. Take it away, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kylie. Appreciate that. Great to be with everybody this evening from wherever in the world you happen to be dialing in from. And I'm going to walk you through a whole bunch of facts, is what I'm going to do. You've probably heard the saying, facts tell, stories sell. In our world, our facts actually sell. And why do I say that? Because we have a lot of facts on our side. By the time we get done here, you're going to be able to decide whether this is for you or not. But what you're not going to know, or what you're not going to be able to question, is that what we have is real. It is 100% real. And I'm going to just cover the kind of the front half of this and turn it back over to Kylie to talk to you about the business side. And she and I arm wrestle a lot on which side do you want to cover, which half, because we both love talking about all of this a lot. And I got started with the company on day one. Now we're just over 45 months old. It's trying to talk about it like it's a little baby. It's still 45 months old. So once we get to that 48-month mark, we'll start talking about it. We're 4 years old. But but the reason I say that is because it's really there's a 22-month and a 23-month period in our business, and they are completely different things. And in the beginning, we started to build a marketplace of products. That was the whole goal, products and services. And if we could bring valuable products to people that they couldn't necessarily get anywhere else, perhaps people would join us. And when they join us, they get access to these products, be able to, take them, buy them again, and maybe even share them with other friends, just like we're doing this evening. Now, that idea, big picture, has been around for about 70 years. That's not really novel. What we wanted, though, like I said, were products that didn't exist. Kylie, you said it. You didn't even know about these products. Heck, I started thinking about there's a picture that I'm going to show. None of the products existed when we started this. They all came to fruition after we launched. Technically, after we got a phone call in April of 2024 that really changed everything. So I am going to pound you with a lot of facts right now and help you understand what it is we really have our hands on. So Marketplace Global, like I said, building a marketplace product. Secondarily, we are about making people great. And what I mean by that, guys, is we truly want to help people overcome self-limiting beliefs, help people step into that next level of greatness that is inside each and every person. But we tend to hold ourselves back because of all of our fears, our doubts, the failures that have happened, crap people have said to us, all those things that hold us back. And we want to help, man. We want to help you start to walk in that next level of who God created you to be. And that is a real thing. So, as I'd mentioned, we got this phone call in April of 2024. We're about 20 months in at that point. And when that phone call happened, it shifted everything about our focus into more of a health and wellness focus. And that was fortuitous for us because in 2024, the global wellness economy was $6.8 trillion. It had doubled from the previous 5 years. Most of that was because through the COVID years, people stopped trusting big pharma. And people were looking for natural, or maybe you hear it as holistic, alternatives to getting and staying healthy. And that's why this industry was just exploding. In 2025, that was $7.3 trillion. It's expected to hit 10 trillion by 2030. Just think about that for a minute. If in fact it hits 10 trillion and grows by $2.7 trillion, just the growth alone would be monstrous. We're just talking about the growth. At 7.3 trillion, it's about the biggest industry in the world already. So if you're going to be in business, if you would like to create income, it's a really good idea to have something that lots of people want, like, and need. And we've got a lot of eyeballs in this space, and our products happen to fit perfectly in this wellness economy. As a matter of fact, here in the US, 40 to 50% of people are asking their doctors for a more integrative approach to their wellness. What does that mean? Don't talk to me about another prescription drug, doc. I don't want it. They want something natural, as do probably yourself and a lot of people that you know. Turns out we have products that do exactly that. Like literally, we operate in the heart of that. Now, look, we are a marketplace. We have about 60 other products that I'm not even showing here. We have household items. We have personal care items. We have other health products. We have lots of different things that I'm not even talking about tonight. Takeaway is this. You're buying a lot of these things already from a store somewhere. You could buy them from yourself. You could do that. I'm going to talk to you about two products tonight, Fix and Vericel. The other 6 products that are here, I could talk for a long time about those as well, because let me just tell you, each of them is amazing on its own. And none of them, like I said earlier, existed before Fix 2 years ago when we got the phone call about this. Everything else came after that because remember, our focus shifted. Every ingredient, 100% natural in these products. That is why we're growing like we are, because we got products that people are looking for. So, like I said, I want to talk to you about this product. We just got done rolling it out. Very, very excited about this. Vericel. Vericel at the core, it's 5 ingredients, 5 really amazing ingredients, and I'm going to give you the list of them. You should go check them out for yourself. Everything I'm saying tonight, please go fact check, please. Ace Mannan is at the core of this. Now, Ace Mannan does not fight or cure any disease. However, it optimizes your own body's immune system in response to every disease. Every. Now, check this out, guys. What is Ace Mannan? Ultimately, Ace Mannan is just the commercial name for something called Manos. All right, here, facts coming at you. Manos is available from 2 sources in the world known to mankind today: mother's breast milk and the aloe vera plant. The challenge is When you extract it out of the aloe vera plant, it denatures or loses its potency in about 24 hours. Back in the 80s, a company called Carrington Labs figured out a way to stabilize the chemical structure so that it could be brought to the market commercially. They invested about $200 million in research trying to make this a drug, literally. And in this process, lots of research went to big pharma. And in anytime there's going to be a drug made, there has to be what's called an LD number, a lethal dose, meaning the toxicity. If you take 50x more than the recommended amount, then you die. Okay, then that's the LD 50, lethal dose, 50 times, LD 100, whatever it is. Here was the amazing part: no toxicity. So Big Pharma said, you don't have a drug here. You've got a nutraceutical, a dietary supplement. So these guys invested almost $200 million to try to make it a drug, and then it wasn't. So then they started to sell it through a couple of companies and sold billions of dollars of the original version of this, billions. And that's got 130 patents on this, medical patents on mannose, this glyconutrient. So if you're going to go research something, Ace Mannan, mannose specifically, and look at what Dr. Reg McDaniel says, former chief of pathology at Dallas Fort Worth Hospital. After overseeing the initial clinical trials on Ace Man, I quickly came to believe that this was the most important discovery since penicillin. These are big facts, guys. Big facts. You should go check it out for yourself. Now, here's the cool part. Hang on, somebody's drawing on here. We need to get Mary to stop doing that, please. So, so here's what's up, gang. This has 40 years of history on it, 40 years, and the science and the data. So you can go look at all this stuff. Like I said, go look at glyconutrients and mannose, and you're going to find what we're telling you. Now, here's the cool part. Vericel, the Ace Mannan component in Vericel, is 4 times the potency of the original version of this that was sold back in the 80s and 90s. This is about what's called cell-to-cell communication. Here's the really fast version. You and I have trillions of cells in our body, trillions. And every one of them is supposed to look a certain type of way. You got this little cell, and on the outside, it should look hairy, is what it should look like. That hair, those fibers on the outside, those are sugars, carbohydrates, not table sugar, different types of sugars. We need, for an effective communication, for an effective immune system, we need 8 essential sugars in the human body. We don't get those anymore in our diet because of all the depletion of nutrients out of the soil, all the processing of foods that occurs. You and I don't get that any longer. And as a result, everybody's immune system is compromised. Ace Mannan has all 8 sugars. And when all of your cells are saturated with the 8 sugars that your body must have, now your body starts to operate differently. You start to get very, very healthy. And that's what this is all about, guys. So let me give you some facts here. Sorry about the red ink. I think we can erase that somehow, but I won't.
I tried. I don't know how.
Okay. All right. No problem. So look, aloe vera has been around since day 3 of creation, 4,200 years ago. It was noted on some tablets in Nippur, but we won't go back that far. 1983, Ace Mannan discovered, researchers at Carrington Labs discovered, stabilized, and patented the immune-activating polysaccharide in aloe vera gel and name it Ace Mannan. That is mannose, okay? 1990, American Society of Clinical Pathology. This is not us. Okay. We got all kinds. We got to get, can you turn off the tools? Go to the host tools, Kylie, and go to the participants and turn off all the stuff so people can't write on there. American Society of Clinical Pathologists. Paper showed Ace Mannan helped the immune system reduce symptoms of AIDS by 71%. Literally, this stopped AIDS in its tracks, you guys. What is AIDS? Autoimmune deficiency syndrome. This stopped it because it optimizes the immune system. It would have been great. They wanted to take this. That's why they wanted to make it a drug. They wanted to take it because at the time, in the late 80s and the early 90s, AIDS was the thing that was ravaging the world. Some dork named Anthony Fauci, though, said, no, we can't have a natural product do that. We've got to sell a drug to people with AIDS. They roll out AZT, which killed more people than even AIDS did. And they said no to this natural extract, even though it stopped it in its tracks. Really bad. 1991, Carrington Labs. Injectable ACE mannan approved by the United States Drug Administration for the treatment of cancer. Hello? The treatment of cancer. But it was only available in dogs and cats because they wanted humans getting drugs. So that's what's up. 1995, Medical Journal. Nature. Peer-reviewed article in Nature reported that cell surface mannose, what we're talking about, is necessary for immune system recognition and function. New Scientist, another medical journal, article highlighted the critical role of sugar molecules in cell-to-cell communication and immune function. Mannose. Cancer research. Published studies show metastatic cancer patients had 4 times higher survival rate after 3 years when allopolysaccharides were used. That is mannose. 2012, National Academy of Science determining the role of specific sugars. Mannose in human physiology is a technology that will what? Change the world. You guys getting the idea? This is all facts. This is not us. 2018, allopolysaccharides were shown to dramatically enhance the immune system's ability to defeat the influenza A virus and all other flus and things like it, if you get my drift. 2015, Mana Relief gets exclusive rights to this. I'm going to come back to that in just a second. These are the ingredients in Vericel, guys. Ace mannan is the core component. But when you start to go do your research on these other ones, which you should, you'll see what we have here is an incredible cocktail, all in powder form. Drop it in water and take it down. Odorless, tasteless, colorless. Quite amazing. Now, here's the other cool part. Mana Relief has the license to this. So we, in partnership with Mana Relief, nourish children, medically fragile children all over the globe. Every time our company sells a bag, we give a bag away. So when you and I buy a bag of this, you get a month's worth of nourishment. Every time that happens, a month's worth goes to a child in need, a child who is poverty stricken, in orphanages, who are malnourished. Sam Castor, the gentleman you see here, he's the guy that he had this brainchild for what we call social entrepreneurship. And we have a cause behind this. So literally every time you buy a bag, you're also investing in a child's life somewhere around the globe. So that is what Vericel is. And that just got rolled up. We have no business having it, but somehow we do. Praise the Lord. So now look, back to the original product, Fix. 2024, we get this phone call about this matured hop bitter acid. And in that, we begin to recognize, man, this is a brand new thing. Even though these have been around since day 3 of creation. In 1953, this extract was first isolated out of the hop flower. What it is, guys, it's 3 bitter acids that are in the hop flower. Now, they come from the hop plant, and you can go on hops right now and buy it on Amazon. And so you can find hops. This is not hops, okay? It's a very specific extract. And first extracted in 1953, a handful of other companies were successful at extracting it over the next 70 years. And the challenge was the extraction method they used cost $1 million to produce a gallon. No way to bring it to the market. Long story short, a pharmaceutical company figures out a way to extract that at a much lower cost. But this is a nutraceutical, not a pharmaceutical, so they weren't going to bring it to the world. We became the company to bring it to the world because we happen to be the largest supplier of liquids in what are called easy snaps in the world, in Minneapolis, our production facility. And so because of that, we got to be the company to bring it to the world. It was the perfect delivery system for this particular extract. And along the way, over those 60, 70 years, they did some human trials on the few gallons that they did produce and found that it would burn visceral fat. And this is big news because visceral fat is very unhealthy. It wraps around your organs, literally. And so we also now know that it activates the vagus nerve. And this is big news, guys, because your vagus nerve is responsible for 1,100 processes in your body. 1,100. 600 of those just in the digestive system. Listen, your immune defense is in your gut. If you have an unhealthy gut, you have an unhealthy life. Your gut is controlled by your vagus nerve. That is the brain-gut connection. That's it. You have something in this vagus nerve, you have a sympathetic state and a parasympathetic state. And the sympathetic state is when you are stressed out, overweight, and you're always in that fight or flight state. And when you are there a lot, you keep yourself stressed out and overweight by being there, literally. And if we can help people move into rest and digest, now all of a sudden, great things happen from a health standpoint. Why? Because when you're stressed out, your vagus nerve, those 1100 processes, it will start shutting off some of the signals from some of those processes. Every signal is urgent, urgent, emergency, send help, need help. That's what's going on. Vagus nerve starts to shut those down. When that happens, those processes disconnect from the autonomic nervous system, and now they move into ill health. People run off to a doctor. Why? Because they've now got a symptom, IBS, acid reflux, autoimmune issues, keep going down the list. And the doctors go, oh, you need this drug. Because what they're going to try to fix is your symptom. They are not trying to get to the root cause, and they never will, because it's all about another drug. If we can move people into rest and digest, now those signals start to get turned back on. Those processes start to move back into health or homeostasis. That's how it works. As it turns out, this little guy right here, Fix, we drop it in any beverage, hot or cold, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, and we enjoy. It's very simple. The bitter receptors that you have in your tongue, esophagus, and small intestine, when the bitter acid goes in, those bitter receptors respond. Long story short, without getting into all the biology of it, then your vagus nerve moves into rest and digest. That's the short version. When that happens, you now begin to experience better sleep, reduced brain fog, reduced appetite, more energy, bowel movement regulation, hormone regulation, hot flash reduction, and a myriad of other amazing health benefits. Every one of these, gang, is vagus nerve related. You move your vagus nerve into rest and digest, or what's called the parasympathetic state, and oh man, great benefits come from that. And that's why we have been growing like we have, because we've had 93,000 people join us. Tens of thousands have reported one or more of these benefits. And when they get them, they tell friends about it. And when the friends hear about it, they try it. And they get a result, they tell friends about it. And that, my friends, is what's been going on for 2 years now. So these are just two of the 60 or so products that we have in our arsenal. I've just given you two of these. You can't get these anywhere else in the world. Literally, we are the only place on the planet with them. And so all the other products we have are very good products. I'd love to tell you about our greens for the next few minutes, but we've got great products, a lot of great products in the world, but you have access to all of these. We just lead with these products right here.
So, y'all, I am so excited to introduce you to our first guest tonight. So, Heather McNally, you have quite the experience on not just one product, but multiple products. So, do you mind unmuting and just sharing a little who you are, what these products have done for you, what you've experienced since being on them? Take it away, girl.
Hi, thank you so much, Kylie. And I just have to give a huge shout out to Julie Aldridge because she is the girl who introduced me to this. And I am a life coach. I call myself actually an identity and alignment activator, podcast host, all these things. And one of the biggest things of my life is trying to live in that parasympathetic nervous system. And so I always talk about that. And when Julie told me about this, I was like, okay, I got to check this out. And I got the fix. And right away, the first thing I noticed was my sleep was deeper and I was not waking up and tossing and turning the way I had been. And I woke up not groggy. And for me, it was usually waking up and like, ugh, I'm up. Okay, here we go. I have so much more energy all day long. Like right now, it's, 9 something at night. I'm like, all right, let's go. But also then I started noticing my fingernails have always been very fine, like paper thin, and they don't grow. They're growing. I'm used to at 53 years old not being able to type with nails now. I have to file them down all the time. I've got baby hair growth at, the edge of my hairline. I noticed that one of my toes I had unfortunately broken and it was discolored. The color is back to normal. That was years. That was a few years. I was like, okay, I'll take this. I started to lose weight. I've lost 10 pounds. I started these January 27th. So I've got all these things that are coming along, and I'm like, this is amazing. My inflammation in my ankles has gone down. So that brings me to Vericel comes out, and I'm like, yep, bring this. I need this because it's been 2 years, just about 2 years that I've been walking with a cane. I was walking one day and I felt a snap. Nobody wants to feel the snap. And I said, oh God, what happened? Well, I couldn't bear weight. I ended up at the ER and they said, you need to go see ortho. You probably have a meniscus tear. I didn't have a meniscus tear. I had a complex meniscus tear at the root. It came unattached. It turns out that I had it on the left knee as well. So you have the surgery, and I'm like, okay, I've got surgery. This is going to be great. It's coming along. Have the surgery. Honestly, it was worse than having a knee replacement, from what I understand. And I start developing arthritis. I can't get my knee to go straight. My legs won't go straight. I have to walk with a cane. My back hurts all the time because of it. I start taking Vericel and doubling my fix April 25th. I have now been 5 days where I can actually stretch my knees out. They don't feel like I have, it's almost like you just have a pile of stuff inside your knee and it just always feels irritated. I don't feel like I have that anymore. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to be able to go for walks again? Am I going to be able to get rid of this cane? Am I going to be able to go hiking again? So to say that this has been life changing for me is an understatement because 2 years of walking with a cane, over a year of not being able to get my knees straight and stand straight. I'm normally 5'9". I've been like 5'7.5", I think, 5'8". It's literally been changing my life. And I've only started the Vericel and doubling the fix and taking it twice a day since April 25th. So I can see huge things are going to happen for me down the road. And I've now got my husband taking it, and I'm screaming from the rooftops because this has been life changing.
Holy crap, girl. Even I will say, even when you said your age, I'm like, you're what? Like, what in
Yeah,
the world? This is,
I
I
know,
mean,
right?
yeah, hey, this is doing some incredible things for you. Thank you so much, Heather, for being on and
Thank you.
sharing. I can relate a little bit to what you were saying about just walking. I mean, my husband he had broken his foot a couple years ago, and it is insane the difference since he has started Vericel. I mean, night and day. I mean, we're talking complained every single day about the pain that he was in, and now he forgets that he broke it. Like it's a crazy situation, and you all heard how Terry explained this product. I mean, I've never in my entire career heard of anything like it. And now the combination, because I was excited about Fix. I was excited about not just what it would do for me, but what it would do for the masses, because I already knew so many people that would benefit. I knew I didn't want, my friend to tell them all. I wanted to be the one. I wanted it to be me. And so now I just get fired up and excited every single day that we get to bring another incredible product to market. I mean, what, less than 10 days that you've been on the product, right? Now, just a quick reminder, we are not here because we want to heal, cure, treat any type of disease. We just want you to know that your body is pretty stinking capable. So these are personal stories, personal testimonies, but when we give our body what it needs, I truly do believe with every fiber of my being, God put on this earth what we need to support ourselves. And so thank God for that. Okay, so we're going to move right along, you guys. I just have a couple more things that I want to share with you. And I am so grateful that I get this part of it because this is really what changed my life 12 years ago. And so we're going to jump on in. So, as you heard from Heather, we have thousands of testimonies from real people with real results using and loving these products every single day. We have an incredible testimony community on social media. So, if you're curious, oh my gosh, like these are great stories, but I need to know, would this help me? I mean, you can see everything from blood sugar and inches lost, better sleep, less stress, less anxiety. Again, right? The disclaimer, you guys know what I'm saying, but these are personal stories of people that cannot shut up about these products